In this week's video, we go sailing. We'll give you a glimpse into what a typical week living on our sailing yacht looks like. We'll be exploring Mediterranean islands and secret underwater adventures, running away from storms, and of course, a little boat maintenance. Let's get started. We're kicking things off this week by leaving the large cities of mainland France behind as we head for island life. Our first stop, the beautiful island of Porquerolles. We've got loads of boats out today. Everybody's sailing.
And with the wind only between 6 and 8 knots, no one was going to beat any speed records. But it didn't stop everyone trying, from small to the very large.
We have had such a beautiful sail to Porquerolles. It's not been fast, it's been a steady 4 knots, taken us a couple of hours, but it's perfect. Really calm, no swell, the sun is shining, it's been lovely. We're coming to Porquerolles now, you'll be able to see it just behind me, and oh my goodness, I have never seen so many masts in an anchorage before. There are over 100 masts between all the anchorages. There's about 3 or 4 anchorages. The one we're going to has about 100 boats, and then there's probably another 100 in each anchorage thereafter as well. So we're going to go see if we can find ourselves a spot.
We managed to squeeze in amongst the other yachts on anchor and went straight for an evening swim.
Lovely!
You don't quite get the same sunsets in Scotland as you do in the Mediterranean. The sunsets recently have just been epic, absolutely epic. The island looks very lush, very green, lots of forests. So we're gonna go and explore and just have a day on the island. I'm very, very excited. Our first challenge is to work out actually how to get to shore. And this is one of the problems about living on anchor, is that you always need to try and work out the logistics of how to get to shore and where to leave the dinghy. So we're gonna take the dinghy. We've got it mounted on the davits at the moment. We're just gonna drop it down into the water. And I think we can leave the dinghy in the marina. There's a little pontoon that we can tie up to, I think, hopefully, fingers crossed, because that just makes everything so much easier. So hopefully they're gonna allow us in.
So we dropped the dinghy from the davits and went searching. Conveniently, the beach offered an easy solution.
So the dinghy is sorted. We found a perfect little channel on the beach next to anchorage. So we've taken the dinghy onto the beach and now we're gonna go exploring.
And whilst the centre of the island was overrun with tourists, the rugged outskirts offered lush greenery, rugged landscapes, and a beautiful sea view. Over the last week or so, we've been having issues with our chart plotter displaying water speed or the wind VMG. So we think it's because of the log. There's probably growth particles on the log. We've got a little paddle that goes through the water. So we're going to see if this works. So what we need to do is pull the log out. When you do that, all the water comes gushing in. So you need to get the bung in. So let's see what happens. I always hate doing this. I've done this so many times before, but it's never a good feeling when you've got a hole in your boat. Okay, so we're just going to unscrew this, and then this should just pull out. I have this one at the ready. Okay, so that was nice and quick. We didn't get too much in. So you can see, yeah, you can see some growth around it. So this is the paddle that goes through the water, and that should be running freely. But you can see we've got some growth around it. So we need to go give that a clean, and hopefully that should work moving forwards. It's not coming off. Okay, so you've just given it a bit of a clean, and that spins so much more freely now. So hopefully we're just going to go install that, and hopefully that solves our issue. So it's same process but in reverse. Let's make sure this lines up. Okay.
Okay, so that's the log all cleaned. The log's back in now. I had to take a sponge and clean out all the water in the hull as well. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this chart plotter is going to be working.
But to be able to test it properly, we need to go sailing. We're leaving Porquerolles behind and heading for Îles de Levant. It's one of the 4 beautiful islands that makes up Îles de Hyères. So we need to lift the dinghy and prep the boat to leave. Sails go up and let's go sailing.
And as we made our final approach into the anchorage, we pulled in our foresail, got our engines on, and I headed to the coach roof to help drop the mainsail.
And of course, as soon as our anchor was dropped, I went straight in for a swim.
There's a collection of 3 small islands, and we chose to anchor on Îles de Levant. But the next morning, we went for a walk and everyone was naked. What we didn't realise is that the island is actually home to a nudist camp.
So, as we typically like to keep our clothes on when we go exploring, we left Rúna on anchor and took our dinghy 2 nautical miles around to Port-Cros, where I had a surprise for Andrew.
Port-Cros was the first marine national park created in Europe. There's no cars, not even bicycles. So we had to explore the 700 hectares by foot.
Hi Andrew.
Hello.
So I've been waiting for Andrew to finish work all day because I had a little bit of a surprise for him. I did a little bit of research and found out that the island next to us has an excellent reputation for being absolutely stunning. We've just stepped on and started the trail, and so far we're absolutely blown away. It is beautiful. But there's also another little secret, and supposedly, I'm going to try and find it, they've not only carved out paths and navigated paths for everybody on land, but there's also an underwater path. So we're off to take our snorkels and see if we can find it.
I don't know if you can see behind me, but I've never seen anything like this, especially in the Mediterranean. It looks like a rainforest.
So we came to these 3 islands because we'd heard about Porquerolles, which is the largest of the island and flattest, and has a huge coastline full of crystal clear waters and beautiful beaches. However, what we actually found is that Porquerolles is absolutely swarmed with tourists and hundreds of boats. And the actual gem of these 3 islands is Port-Cros. And you can see why behind me. The coastline and the bays are absolutely beautiful and not full of tourists.
And we think the hidden swimming trails are on this beach. Okay, so apparently the secret swimming course is in this bay behind me. We're gonna go get our swimming gear on, get our snorkels and go swimming. It has just started raining, so we're gonna get wet, but hey, we're gonna get wet anyway.
Got my snorkel, ready to go. As we immersed ourselves in the underwater world, we followed a course of underwater markers that guided us around various parts of the bay, from protected seagrasses to underwater cliffs. And it was beautiful.
How's that?
That was, honestly, that was one of the best experiences of the trip so far. It was amazing. Since 1963, this whole place has been protected and is a national park, including 600 meters offshore as well. And some people complain that you can't anchor here, but the amount of fish and sea life that you get from protecting the seabeds is absolutely unreal. I've never seen so many fish.
Lots of jellyfish as well. I don't know if you can see, I got stung by a jellyfish. It's the first time I've ever been stung. Ruth was far too eager to pee on me.
Wouldn't let me pee
I
on
said no, I'm not, it's not that sore, it's not that painful.
Big hill to climb up afterwards, but I'm absolutely buzzing, so I don't mind.
Look at that view. Right, beer?
Beer.
Beer.
Sad to say the sun's gone down, so we need to get back to the boat before it goes dark. So Andrew caught us our first fish. It may be small, but it's our fish and we're very proud. So we're getting it in the oven. We're going to try it. We've got salt and pepper, a little bit of lemon, and then we're just going to put it in the oven for a few minutes and see how it does.
Do you know what it's called? Can you remember what type of fish it is?
It's called a boop boop.
Sorry, what?
A boop boop.
A boop boop. So we have left the islands this morning. There's a thunderstorm due in to attack the islands later on this evening. So we're going to run away, get some shelter. Along with the thunderstorms is forecasted 14-knot winds. And we don't want to be caught in that. So the forecast is a lot calmer for mainland. Mainland is about 10 nautical miles away from us at the moment. So we will set off and we're going to go find some shelter.
Where's the sunshine gone? I'm definitely missing the sunshine. Today I've got a jumper and shorts, not quite Scotland weather where I need a beanie, but jumper and shorts, and I'm definitely missing the sunshine. We've got winds, so we've got 14 knots of wind. We're doing 5 knots. Straight across to the mainland, and then we're going to beat up. So yeah, can't complain, at least we have wind. I've just started to hear the thunderstorm start behind us, which is further over the island from where we were, but you can see just behind me the colour of the clouds is so much darker. And the storm, what we were running away from, is definitely building over that side. And then we're heading over this direction. Just heard another lightning thunder actually. And on this direction, this is exactly where we're heading. It's much nicer. There should be a lot better weather on this side. So the forecast is correct, luckily. So in 5 months of sailing on Rúna, this is only the second day that we've had sailing in rain. And this is the only time I think we've ever thought we needed a bit of a bimini. You can spec a cover, which most people spec to shade them from sun, I absolutely love the sunshine and I love sailing in sunshine. I don't love sailing in this, which is why I moved away from Scotland. But, you know, today we are sailing in the rain. You'll have to forgive me because we dropped our microphone in the water, so I'm going to shout, but this wind is so unpredictable today. We've literally just done a full 180 within a second, and we've now got 14 knots of wind. We've got 7.5 knots of speed. We're absolutely flying, but it's so unpredictable. Look at all this water.
It's days like today that I'm thankful that I'm not skippering. I'm in a nice warm cozy office downstairs working, and Ruth is outside in the wet sailing us to our next destination.
Very wet.
Very wet, but I'm very dry, so it's working out well for me.
I tell you what though, next door to us I've been racing this guy who's not got his sails up and he's just motoring, and we've just overtaken him again because we're going faster. This is why if you buy a sailing yacht you should sail, because the guy we're racing who's motoring is way back there.
So we've made it to mainland. You can see behind me the skies are starting to clear up. We've dodged a thunderstorm. We had a little bit of rain, but it wasn't too bad. And we're 5 minutes from an anchorage, so we'll go get our anchor down for the day and chill out for the rest of the evening. And as we arrived back onto mainland France, this was our anchorage. A beautiful bay that's well protected from the strong winds.
So we found our anchorage last night, which has really high cliffs all around, blocking us from that westerly wind and westerly swell, which has been absolutely a lifesaver today, because out there, I don't know if you can see behind me, but the waves are huge. We keep seeing the odd little boat. We've just seen a couple of paddleboarders actually, absolutely insane. But we just see the odd boat braving it out there and just getting thrown about. So this anchorage is working perfectly, and I'm glad we found it. There's only a couple of us in here. You can actually see how well protected we are. And whilst we were hiding, these guys thought it was the perfect time to go for a paddle. But don't worry, they made it back to shore safely. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to follow our journey as we continue to sail the Mediterranean and head for Saint-Tropez.